Welcome to session 2 of Good Night. You find yourselves in the Lonesome Tankard. There is already a flow of motion here. Ed and Laird are preparing to move to the door. Lieutenant Kit takes a hard look at you, Julienne, before he grabs the scrolls in front of him and shoves them into his sack. Kareen glowers. It's starting. She can sense it. She looks over at the lot of you. We love an adventure. The bartender falls into a familiar rhythm with a nod. Hard not to agree. Kareen gently glows, allowing the shadow weave to pass through her. Bell Bowl, bless. That will last until tonight. You are affected by the bless spell. One of many boons sequestered in this little place. Do tell me if you see evidence of an aboleth, please. Ed is staring at Kareen's shoulder, transfixed for a bit too long. He turns to you, Arsenaway. That's your brother that rung that bell. And Laird is walking to join him. I have a creeping and optimistic hope that this is our Marshal of the Fist come a-calling. Gemina, haste. No, a roll Arcana, DC 7.
I think there's a moment where she gives Kaysen a worried look. That was a 14 Arcana.
On a 14, Gemina, twinned haste. He casts haste on himself and on Laird. On himself and on Ed. Your father is the region's most powerful sorcerer. His brow is sweating. Ed looks over at you. If you lack direction, watch the North Bridge. Rain is a capable knight. The actions with the party.
All right, well, please excuse me. I should look after Hilda. And she sort of looks again at Kaysen as if she's about to ask him something, but then hurriedly gathers her things and starts to rush after her friend. Is Tilda booking it out of this place?
I believe I have not looked back.
One question for you, Tilda. Did you, in your haste to leave, did you sneak a glance at your mother?
Ooh. I think no.
You
I'm
don't?
too engrossed in myself.
You do not. You are, after all, 17 and fairly solipsistic. You look inward only. The action remains with the party. There is a general flow pushing you outside should you not step out of the way.
So Sporgle hops up on the bar. And he takes out one of those shiny gold coins that he has, and he like slams it down on the bar. And he says, "Mead and meat."
You, Sporgle, scramble up onto the bar, which is over the top of your head in height. You have no problem finding a bar stool that allows you to hoist yourself up. Standing here on the bar, you find yourself looking downward at the human barkeep, who is now forced to look up at you. Kareen laughs out loud. Mikhail narrows his eyes, and you sense that this is the same look that he must have been giving Kareen earlier today. Mead and a meat. For a gold,
Sporgle nods.
I think we can make that happen. Whatever you are.
Hungry.
A gold's worth of hunger will get you pretty far here. He takes your gold, pockets it, and goes back toward the kitchen. You find yourself waiting service in the midst of all of this.
No change, just an entire gold.
Yeah, what does he know?
Do you sense that you could be being ripped off here?
He doesn't care, I can assure you that right now. He is starving.
You are starving. Ed Severino, who had been cutting Laird's steak for him, this said steak is now behind you on the bar, grabs it and comes over and slams it down in front of you, Sporgle. He leans over toward you. Do you have a weapon? You armed, little thing?
Sporgle just nods.
Eat up. It's going to be a long night on that north gate.
Is he offering Sporgle a steak? He is shoveling it in his mouth with both hands.
You do that. As you are viciously consuming this breaded steak, it is delicious. You've never had anything quite like this, Sporgle. Mikhail returns to the bar with your mead, setting it down and realizing that you will not need that meat after all, although you sense he is not going to give the gold back. Ed, in a gesture that is becoming something that you are unfortunately used to, grabs you by the shoulders, mouth full of Laird's leftover steak, and places you delicately on the ground.
Sporgle swipes that mead before that happens. It is in a bottle like the sailor's head.
That's exactly right. This is a bottle of mead.
Mm-hmm.
Your gold is burning in Mikhail's pocket. You notice that Laney is arguing with Elias Kitt. Laird is already on his way out the door. There is a general flow of motion. Ed is trying to herd you outside.
I feel like my character already made a bad enough impression before he opened his mouth, so I'm definitely just gonna follow that. Look for a direction when I get outside. I'm like occasionally hovering, like looking over my shoulder, like Ed is some kind of vengeful ghost that's gonna get me. It's just a walking jump scare.
What interesting verbiage, Kaysen. You can imagine Ed as a vengeful spirit. There is something deeply vengeful about this man. You have an easy time conceptualizing him that way, as if there was something that wronged him deeply at some point, and that has guided his personality since. You feel that you have taken quite the measure of this man. Hey, Tilds,
Hello.
you running out the door?
I am.
No way. Describe your approach.
She's hustling after her. It's rude to outright run, but she's getting as close to it as possible in order to keep up with Hilda.
Julian Willowstride, appointed alchemist of the city. Describe your affect and what you're doing.
As everybody else is heard getting up from the table to rush out, I will also get up at the same time, not as fast as, well, Julian is a little bit slower, but as fast as she can, and she will also rush after the young ones as they're rushing to go help her brother. So I will not be far behind, and I will prepare any medicinal things in my pouch ready to go once we get there, just in case.
Like what? What lurks in your pouch? Your hands find some things inside your leather satchel. What are they?
I imagine it would be a basic first aid kit for immediate patch-ups, maybe some bandages, and probably some minor healing potions that were just whipped up this morning.
You probably have, as you walk closely beside people, some you know, some you don't, I would imagine a rather medicinal smell about you, wouldn't you say?
Yes, among other scents, but yes. Maybe today was a medicinal day and a lack of experimentation day. For that's what was in demand today.
I'm charging out the door.
You are charging
I-
out the door.
Don't take care to who follows.
Allow me to phrase it like this. Does anyone not follow Tilda, who is in search of her brother? Take a moment to find yourself on the map, stretch your legs, make sure your token works. You are outside the Lonesome Tankard in Evening Star. The northern bunker is to your northwest, which overlooks the northern crossing of the Starwater. The river burbles just down the northern embankment. The wind is oddly still, and there's tension in the air. The sound of a shrill cry in the sky to the northeast breaks the silence. A horse in the stable worriedly chuffs in response. Laird, my concerns grow. And Ed, Southgate, we'll get there before anything else can. Ed looks southward to see someone walking with a purposeful gait from up the southern road, down the hill, and towards the group. Ah, your bride, Laird. Meet you by the bridge. No long goodbyes, please. Ed shakes his shoulders, loosening up, speaking Elven under his breath. His skin becomes as bark, flaking off bits of birch skin that catch the moonlight as he adopts an athletic, predatory gait, heading south, not acknowledging the person heading north.
I just want to say that is a very cool looking token and not at all how I expected you might look.
I'm sorry, range should not have been there. There was an unnecessary token on there. The person approaching you is a very familiar face to some of you. No way. This is your mother. This woman, who is imposing beyond her size, gestures with an extended forefinger. Edward, husband, daughter, what is this?
The alarm was sounded, and we're heading north to check on Tilda's brother.
No way. Not you.
Yes, mother.
Laird moves to speak, but Rebecca shushes him with a finger. Laird, I've traveled the Honorrock twice on foot and never seen anything quite as queer as this. You have a feeling she's looking at you, Sporgle. And there are hoofbeats from the north.
I will step in front of Kaysen in between Laird and Rebecca, and I will just tell them, please go on ahead. I will catch up to you. I will take care of your parents.
The two of them look between each other. Laird lowers his twisted back for you. He looks to his wife and says, "Hi, let's go get our son."
I agree.
Someone is bearing down on you from the north. Rebecca and Laird are walking south together, presumably to catch up with Ed.
Noe sort of stands there waiting to be formally dismissed, and then when she realizes that it's not coming, she turns and starts to hurry hustle after Tilda again.
Yeah, about this time, Julianne will turn around after watching the St. Clairs walk south, and she sees that 3 of you are still standing here. What are you doing? Go! Go! You're much faster than I. I will catch up.
Who's in front of me?
Tilda, someone you know is approaching you. He slows his horse down to a trot. This is Bill Crest, the farrier. He lives up north past the dock. As his trade would suggest, he's good on a horse. He has excellent control of his animal as he stops in front of you. Bells, huh? What gives?
We heard the alarm. We're headed to the north gate. Did you see Rand on your way?
He's right there. He gestures with his head behind him toward the north bunker. Andre is way out there. You better tell his brother. There's men on the docks too. Does Ed know?
Ed knows.
The barge was late or something. Oh, hey.
Was there anything queer? Anything I should know about?
I didn't see a thing, but Andre is way past the gate there. I think his brother would definitely like to know. But hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. At least somebody remembered.
I think I'm a couple days early, but I didn't get you anything. Where's your father? Where's your mother?
Okay, yeah. She's giving the weather report. I think you can still catch her. Can you let her know that I want a proper ink and quill for my birthday?
He doffs his hat. Ink and quill. I'll tell Lainey.
Okay, I'm glad Rand's safe. I'll pet the horse as it passes.
He attempts to navigate the road, but finds any manner of strange creatures at the feet of his beast. His horse rears up a bit. One moment, let me roll something. Seeing an armored elf, something that is very strange and perhaps even threatening in his lands, his horse rears up. He holds the bridle tight and talks it down. He has to lower it slowly before he can get his horse back into a normal trot and moving past you. Kaysen, you realize that Bill Cress is staring daggers at you as he rides by.
I'm gonna stay out of the way of that horse and let it pass. Already enough enemies in this town. I'm gonna attempt to hold my tongue for 6 seconds. Very much hoping that our friend up here in the tower will live long enough for me to return the shiny that ended up in my pocket.
I will hustle a little slower and glance behind me at the assembled retinue I've achieved along the way.
You take a brief inventory of this strange coterie that has spawned around you. It is rather strange. Some things are simply a matter of fate, aren't they, Tilds?
Sometimes it feels that way.
I'm just excessively relieved that it is not just me and Sporgle, because as wonderful as Sporgle is, Kason no longer feels quite so much of a responsibility for if Sporgle should get caught stealing something. It's like a shared responsibility now.
Is it?
When Noe gets close to me, I'll turn quickly and kind of gesture at the folks.
I think Ed sent them with us. They were in quite a hurry to get everyone out of the tavern.
It's always Ed. God.
Well, he has a natural affinity towards giving orders, leading.
That's the nice way to put it.
So does he ask that to everyone? Like every elf? I'm like looking between Noe and Tilda.
Only
It's
ones
like
you
a-
can't control.
Oh, okay. Fascinating.
I'm sorry. Kason. I'm Tilda. I'll kind of stick my hand out as we're walking. The poorest greeting I can muster.
That's fine. That's better than he's used to.
Who's your friend? She turns somewhat to look, and then has to look down at Sportle.
So Sporgle is since he left the tavern, he has been nursing on the bottle of mead the entire time. It has not left his lips, and so he unplugs it. It's like halfway gone, and like he lets out a belch that like scares the birds away. And he goes,
Noe laughs, but you can tell that it surprises her that she laughs, and she kind of covers her mouth.
and Sporgle just says, "Sporgle."
Noah's gonna pick up so many bad habits from all of us.
Nothing like a good laugh to keep the mood up. Sporgle, what are you drinking there?
Sporgle like brings it closer to his body. Sporgles.
How does it feel to have Bless cast on me? It might have been the first time I've ever been buffed by something.
You feel a bit of Kareen's essence. It's cold. If you had to give it a color, it would be blue. It gives you a feeling of minor prophecy. Like you can see things a bit before they happen. Your swing before it connects. The fireball before it's launched at you.
I am a Loch Lauren, after all.
That's exactly right. This connects with you. How do you, knowing that, how does it make you feel?
The best I've felt in months, filled with purpose.
Some of us are filled with purpose, some are filled with steak.
As they approach the bridge, I think Noe will start swiveling her head and keeping an eye out for Trieste.
Make a perception check.
And we are north, right?
We are north.
I go the wrong way. Kason's gonna like very, very cautiously kind of look between the three more folks, kind of remembering something that came up in the last session. So the weather report mentioned something about psionic activity. Like, I know I'm a newcomer and I'm not the most trustworthy person around, but I will just say I might have felt a little stirring in my brain from an outside presence north up the road. If anyone else has experienced something similar. Could just be me.
No one else
You
has experienced
accumulate
something similar.
Quite a few.
Did you drink enough water today?
items.
Very good question. Probably not.
Hmm.
Sporgle lets out a hiccup and he goes, Sporgle brain stirring.
Sporgle, you are swimming a bit. You're this mead is heavy in your stomach. You slosh around a bit as you move. The alcohol is settling in a bit too quickly.
Yeah, it's on an empty stomach. Yeah.
Kaysen, you do feel like you could be a bit dehydrated. You have a sense that you've been out in the sun for most of today, and your mouth does have a parch to it.
I'd like to call up the stairs, Randy!
You do
It's
so.
Tilds!
You do so. Your brother comes running.
Jason is looking intensely relieved that with all the bizarre shit following them around town, that nothing terrible appeared to happen after him and Sportle ran off.
I will run up
Sister.
and embrace my brother.
Yes. Ran is overjoyed to see you. His arms wrap around you. He picks you up, holds you, and calls you sister.
Randy, the alarm sounded. Supposedly there's elven war drums at the south gate.
Why does it have to be Joe?
Who's Joe?
You know who he's referring to. Noe's older sibling, Josan, who many of his friends call Joe for short.
Well, I think our job is up here in the north gate. I'm not... You know how it is.
Nothing.
But don't run headfirst into battle without me.
His eyes narrow a bit. This is correct. He is the type of person to run into battle quickly, and you know the person he attempts to emulate with his life. He sighs heavily and walks back to where he has his sword still glowing, sitting on the battlements.
Is there like enough space for us to follow up there?
There is. This bunker is a rectangular fortification with multiple slats facing northward. Standing in here, Kaysen, you have a sense that this is a fortification meant to watch the bridge.
May I attempt something stupid yet honorable while everyone is distracted? Can I attempt to reverse pickpocket him and put the thing back in his pocket if I am detected? I'm going to try to play it off.
Roll sleight of hand and describe to me exactly how you're going to do this. He is currently, Ran is walking back to the battlements, having just finished an embrace with his sister Tilda. Walk me through it for advantage.
Let me pull up my character sheet, which was not up. What do I add for sleight of hand? I don't think I have
Dexterity.
training or anything in it. Okay.
Dex and proficiency. Go ahead.
I assume you don't have a pip in it. You're not like a welcher, a thief, a larcenist.
I do not. Okay, so I got a 19. 19. So Kaysen is going to sort of try to casually walk like he is looking around the area and just sort of taking in the battlements, looking around, just trying to look like he's kind of casually out of place, you know, sort of rummaging around between things. He's gonna try to play off that sort of klutzy, clumsy sort of vibe and accidentally bump into him a bit as he's leaning over, which may be met with suspicion because he was already bumped into by a goblin somewhat earlier. And he's going to try to just slip that into the nearest pocket-shaped vessel on his outfit. The carving of the unicorn that got stolen earlier by Sportle.
This comports with your affect. It's easy to come off as a little clumsy, a little handsy. Let's have advantage on that. Your first roll was a 18, is that correct? 19?
19.
19. Yeah, give me advantage. Give me one more sleight of hand check.
13.
13. Noted. Let me roll something on my end. You take the figurine and deposit it back in Ran Lochlaren's pocket.
I'm gonna give Sporgle a silent side eye that says, okay, if you're gonna pickpocket stuff, pickpocket gold, not sentimental items. Sort of
Sporgle is
silent
still
look.
outside, I can tell you that.
Mm, mhm.
And about that time, after you've already put the thing back in his pocket, Julian will meander up and pop her head in and be like, Ran, are you injured or anything? Are you okay?
He is pleased to see you. Having come to you with many minor ailments in the past, Julien, he offers you a hand. Nothing more than calluses, really. If you have something for that, some type hand cream. Do you have hand cream?
I can check. I don't know if I have it on me.
He
Do I have like a basic aloe concoction I carry with me?
do you?
Probably.
Placing your hand inside of your sack, you find that you are able to produce an aloe concoction that you, Julien, have made many times as a simple salve, something to relieve complaints like Rand's.
Here, I have a little bit left. This will help you, but there's nothing wrong. I gotta go find Noe, and then we're gonna head south.
He gives you a little bow, and wait. What about armor, oil?
What do you think I am?
I just thought, okay.
I'll look into it. That's not my forte.
No problem.
I know you've been asking about it before. I'm sorry. I haven't gotten there.
No way, you're standing in a rather conspicuous spot.
She's still looking for her cat. She rolled an 11 on perception.
You are looking for Trieste. You have a sense that you are in his territory. Is he watching you right now? You look for his eyes in every bush and can't find them.
I think there's a little song that she sings. It doesn't really have words, and it's a little childish, simple sort of tune. But she sort of like chirp singing it as she's looking for her cat.
You hum a sweet little tune. It comes naturally to you and reminds you of pleasant times with your family.
Why do I feel like it's not gonna be a normal house cat?
Julian will pop her head outside. She walks back out of this little watch post. Look to her right. See Sportle. Come on.
Sporgle looks at you like he doesn't know what you're expecting.
I will wave you towards me. Or a gesture as to follow.
Are you gesturing like inside the building?
No, to you towards me.
Okay. Sporgle cautiously approaches. He doesn't know where this is going.
They're busy. Let's go find Noe.
What?
The other one. Just come with me. Let them have their moment.
Sporgle's just... He's got his drink in his hand. He doesn't even care what happens at this point. So he's following.
I don't know how you got here, why you're here. Just stay with me. We'll figure this out later.
I'm just looking incredibly relieved that got the reverse pickpocketing done successfully. Nobody's died yet, and Ed Severino didn't horrid feather me. Good night so far. Looking a little lost, like I was wishing I had some stronger direction, feeling very out of place. Is this on the bridge? I just zoomed out and saw that there's someone approaching us.
Someone is approaching you. Evening, Starrens, you know this person. She's friends with Ed. She's the Fletcher, Alice Osborne.
Miss Osborne.
She looks at you with a measure of contempt. Are you going to let me cross, Lady St. Cyr?
She takes a step out of the way, sort of clears her throat, and says, "Did you see anything strange as you were wandering south? We've been hearing some reports of oddities happening."
She clears her throat and crosses her arms defensively. Strange like what?
I think she turns to look and realizes Kaysen's not there. Looks to Julian for a moment, like,
He's kind of hanging out at the back, trying to avoid trouble.
Madam Osborne, what young Noe is referring to is the war drums and the source of the alarms going off. Did you see anything while you're out in the fields? Hear about it?
Is this an interrogation?
No, it's merely a concerned citizen.
Both of you roll perception at disadvantage, DC 10.
and bless only doesn't work on ability checks, right?
Bless the saving throws and attacks.
Due to disadvantage, my lowest is a 5.
You notice nothing of interest.
My lowest is a 15.
Your lowest is a 15?
Yes.
No way, she's hiding something, physically, behind her back.
What is it that you have with you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have something in your hands.
I thought you were asking about war drums, something like that. I think I'd like to be going now.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Are you going to be fine?
Hey,
And
hey,
she
hey.
tries to see what it is as she walks past.
What's the need for being so defensive? Madam Osborne, this seems a bit counterproductive.
No way. You do see what it is. There's horns sticking out of a pouch behind her.
What kind of horns?
You see a large leather sack with irregular white protuberances. Julienne. Alice freezes up. Her right hand goes to her belt. You can't see what she's reaching for.
I'm wondering what color unicorn horns are.
Her hand stops on something. She looks up at you with fierce eyes, Julienne. Let me
Julian
go now.
I am letting you go, and Julian will put her hand on her pouch of vials. I am just merely concerned to your aggression when there is a situation going on the city, the town, our home.
Roll persuasion at advantage.
20.
She pauses and you see a mote of concern on her face. What situation? There's a strange rattling sound as she rights her backpack, trying to keep it away from you.
I just mentioned this. The war drums. The panic in the town. The alarms are going off.
I didn't see anything like that.
But you have ears. You must hear it. You must hear the alarms going off. I don't care if you can't see it. We obviously haven't seen it, but you have ears.
And we've got situations plural. There's also a griffin, which I'm assuming you saw the direction that you came from. Don't know if he's a regular.
She looks up for a moment. I didn't see anything. A fairly bold and obvious lie.
You know, for somebody that handles a bow, you saying you don't see anything is kind of ridiculous.
I'll whisper to Ran, have you seen a griffin?
There's something up there. There's something flying high. I've never seen a griffin in real life before. Should we do something about this?
Uh,
Why are they hassling her?
I'm going to touch Ran's arm, cast guidance.
You do so.
I'm going to say, griffins usually nest this time of year. You can identify their unique featherings, but the patterns near its wings, it gets darker. Now take a look.
He looks up. The sky is almost completely dark. But this knight of Selûne does his best to focus. Give me one moment while I roll something. You sense that Ran is very focused. You watch his eyes trace something far up there. Hi, Tilds. That is a griffin. What's it doing here?
Scouting.
They live in the mountains. Scouting for whom?
The elves.
I fear you might be right.
Griffins are smart. They speak Sylvan.
Intelligent
They
animals.
speak Elvish.
Aye. It must. If we can see it, it must be able to see us. What implications does that have, I wonder? An enemy that we can't charge at, Tilds.
I don't know. I don't know. What would have Dad done?
Die.
Come on. Stop with that.
It's true.
I will turn away and try and eavesdrop at this conversation.
I'm
Julie,
looking like I'm feeling. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. You.
I was just gonna say I'm looking like I'm feeling physically pulled apart. Like I want to be invisible, but I also want to start drama and stand at the middle of the road here. So I'm sort of just following what everyone else is doing.
You're having a difficult time centering yourself. You want to step in, but you worry that you might be overstepping your bounds. All of these people seem to know one another. And again, you feel a bit like an outsider. In the realm of outsiders, you see a figure following on the northern road. One moment.
I'm still getting used to roll 20. Can we see that far in this light? Characters.
You can. And you can see a weary figure on the northern road. Kaysen, looking down the road, you can see, silhouetted by torchlight, a man with the professional dress of an artisan, but you see a steady gradient of mud up his legs, up both of his trousers. Shoulder length, black hair, frames a face dominated by an obvious prosthetic. His orbital bone and eye have been removed and replaced by a large decorative orb, giving him an uncanny appearance. Some Evening Starans may recognize this man as he approaches. You find yourself as Rain Danavir, and the marble, mortar, and pestle in your rucksack makes a jingling sound with every step you take toward the bridge. Rain, how do you carry yourself as you walk into the light?
With purpose, although somewhat almost oblivious to these alarm bells ringing. Under that tone, a small, much quieter bell attached to a brazier. A censer, maybe? attached to two chains that he's hanging in both hands, slowly swinging back and forth as this cloud of purple herbal smoke carries around him.
My character immediately sort of recognizes this person, not even consciously, more unconsciously. Like he knows that he's seen this person somewhere, and without really being able to pin down what memory he's thinking of, sort of immediately just relaxes at seeing someone somewhat familiar that he can't place.
As Rain approaches with this steady cadence, foot by foot, purposefully. Ah, the patient. He takes a glance further down the bridge. The patrician, as he looks to our silhouette. Up in the tower, can I see the two that are looking down?
Ranlock Lauren allows you to be seen. He knows you. You're a known quantity. He calls out to you. Rain.
Ah,
He's
my
holding.
pupil's little brother.
He's holding up his glowing sword.
Bright as always.
As soon as he says that name, I put two and two together. I'm like, I know I've met you somewhere before, but on a more pressing note, there was someone looking for you north of here. Did you find someone at the edge of the woods? Said his name was Dez.
What did you say?
Someone north of here named Dez was looking for someone by the name of Rain. He said rain, like rain of fire.
More like
No,
rain, like rain.
Noe has turned on her heel, looking towards the both of you with a flushed expression.
He said to tell you time is running short, and he needs you. No idea if that means anything to you.
Given the circumstances, I suppose I am a little late. Apologies. But yes, you were a patient of mine. I don't particularly remember the particular. He takes a step around casing them. The name eludes me, my apologies.
Kason, I suppose if I don't remember it, I probably didn't tell you it at the time.
I'm sure you did, blathering, all burnt and patched up. I just hate to tell you, as he puts one hand, releasing it from the sensor's chain as it dangles to his side, onto your shoulder. I just have a lot of patience and don't really remember every name. Although there's a lot of familiar... As his gaze casts through this cavalcade of people, is that you see him freeze. As if his brain short circuits a little bit, as though he's casting a glance over familiar face after familiar face. Is that what Pharaoh? As he points directly to Sporg.
When he does that, Sporgle is sitting there urinating on a bush.
What a night.
Julian at this point was still interrogating Madame Osborne, and hearing Rain talk and then hearing Sporgle, she just kind of turns around and gives herself a quick whiplash, trying to focus on too many things at once.
There's a lot going on at the same time here, Julian. And you hear it again. A sharp call cuts through the night somewhere up in the sky far above you. There's a lot going on at once.
I believe the loud call would take most of Julian's attention at this point, as it is the loudest sound.
Oh, she's getting away.
Alice is trying to get away.
Can Noe rush up and grab her arm?
You absolutely can. You rush up and grab her arm. She whips around to face you. Saint Cyr runt.
Miss Oghorn, I understand that you would like to leave, but you must understand that I feel a particular worry upon seeing white horns of all things in the bag of someone trying to conceal that from me. So would you either explain yourself or show me what's inside the bag, and then we can both be on our ways?
How about neither of the above?
She grabs the bag.
You grab the bag.
My attention is turning to you, and I'm ready to help out if needed.
Okay.
As this is unfolding, Rain will elbow Julianne slightly in the shoulder. What is going on?
I didn't expect you to be in town so soon. But there's an alarm set. A griffin in the sky.
That much I can hear them. I meant more. Does he point directly at Arsinoe reaching for a bag?
I don't know. I was trying to get to the bottom of that, and you made your presence known.
No. Right. Rain will start to move more directly towards this confrontation.
I did not notice this bag, as Julian will walk back up next to you. I was merely just asking why an archer, or somebody of use of the bow, did not see anything while she was out in the field, and then she directly got aggressive with us.
I'll leave them to it then.
Unfortunately, I don't want these two to get hurt.
No business for you then.
I don't always want the business. I'll let you have a small cut. But I'm more concerned about what her father would say. Mother.
I will mutter to Ran. Griffins in the sky, elves at the south gate, and all this town can do is get engulfed in its petty dramas. Ran, I can't wait to get out of here.
I am so sick of this place, Tilds. You know, this used to be a proper country. Kaysen, you are assisting Noe, who is fighting for this bag of something. Noe, roll athletics. In addition to your roll, add Kaysen's strength bonus.
What's your strength bonus, friend?
It is +2.
Okay, so that's only a 12.
One moment.
Still might be enough to be an act of aggression to provoke a fight.
Well, which I'm hoping to avoid, but
Alice fumbles the bag. The drawstring opens. Delicate, long white horns from multiple species are splayed out in the mud. She falls to her knees. Apparently, she values the horns more than she does throwing a punch at you, Noe. She's swearing and cursing you in Tempest's name as she tries to gather the horns and shove them back into her bag. Tilda Lochlaren, roll religion. You heard that, didn't you?
$22.
You would know inauthenticity anywhere. She reminds you of your mom. Something about that doesn't ring true. She gathers the horns. She's looking up at you, Noe. Are you happy? Is this what you wanted?
what are you doing with them?
I'm making them into arrows.
Nobody makes horns into arrows. Nobody makes horns into arrows.
Her eyes narrow. She doesn't say a word.
Why is it
The
that
air
you
is
couldn't have
still.
said so?
She blinks in surprise. I did just say so. Is this enough? She looks up at you, Tilda, as if she is wondering why this goes unparried. Of course, horns cannot be made into arrows. She's shoving the horns back into her bag.
Can I?
On the bridge, you see another figure approaching from the north.
Oh my god.
One moment.
This shit's gotta stop.
Denizens of this town are insatiable.
Well, you were barking up the right tree.
Don't like that. He's just initials.
You hear the telltale sound of someone strumming a lute.
Odd time to be playing an instrument.
This is an odd time to be playing an instrument. You infer that anyone doing this is the equivalent of singing in the wilderness, announcing one's presence.
In all my travails and travel, I didn't hear anyone playing an instrument behind me this whole time, did I?
Not unless we count the wonderful strings in your head, Rain.
Oh, my apologies. He will pull the sensor up to his mouth and puff it out. It's a bit rude.
You extinguish your sensor. What was the second thing you said?
It was a little rude of me, I'm sorry. It's crowding around you. The smell is of lavender and chamomile.
Kason, the smell reminds you of tea that you like.
Sorry, the internet just cut out for about 4 seconds. I did not hear that.
The smell of the smoke from Rain's sensor reminds you of tea that you like.
At a glance, does it look like Noe and Kaysen have this situation under control with Madame Osborne?
No.
Jason never has any situation under control. He's just ready to throw punches.
When the horns spilled, were any of them familiar in shape? Because it's an odd time of year
I was wondering
for horns to be falling off naturally, shall we say.
Roll nature. Roll nature.
Now, what?
Roll nature at advantage DC 8. Kason, go ahead.
Yeah, does this area have like hunting seasons?
It does.
Like, what is the legality of hunting things removing their horns at this time of year?
Your frame of reference is a bit different than anyone else's frame of reference here. For you, hunting the beasts of the wild is something sacred, a rite, a ritual. For humans, you imagine it must be something very different.
With advantage, it was a 16.
With a 16 on your nature check. You see several types of horns among the ones that she recaptured, Noe. You spy elk horns, deer horns, something long, cylindrical, spiralized like that. Not a unicorn from what you can tell. Your worst fears are probably allayed, you think, but nonetheless, piecing two and two and two and two together, you realize that at best these animals were poached. At worst, you can imagine their bodies lying somewhere in the forest. Animals killed solely for their horns.
Where did you get these?
Carrion. Skeletons.
Listen, I think I should keep these for now, and you can come talk to my father about it later. I'm sure it will be a misunderstanding, but
Roll
I really
roll
like it.
intimidation.
Okay.
I think mentioning your father is a method of intimidation. Let's roll intimidation.
The 22. Thanks, Dad.
She's breathing heavily. Suddenly, she thrusts the leather bag into your hands. Fine. Your dad and my boss are going to have words about this. You can hold them for now, but only because I would never want to anger your twisted fuck of a father.
She slaps her.
Sporgle yells, "Tuss!"
Your bare hands, no gauntlet right now, right? Just bare
No
hand.
gauntlet, just bare hands, soft.
How hard do you hit her? Is it a slap of disrespect, or is this a slap of I want to hurt you in this moment?
It's a slap of you have said something hurtful towards my father, and I am telling you that I will not broker such disrespect, no matter what you may think of me.
You are beginning to build an oath. Your hand slaps her cheek. The sound resounds. She gasps in surprise, almost falling backwards. Her eyes go wide. She wasn't expecting that, no way. She stumbles backward. For a moment, her hand goes as if she wants to reach for the bow that's lashed to her back, but she thinks better of it. You will pay for that. She's gasping. She's livid. She's stumbling backward. She runs to the south.
Fuck yeah.
I think Noe is sort of cradling her hand. You get the sense that that has surprised her as well. And she seems almost a little morose about it, but eventually she shoulders the bag and turns towards the others like, all right, this is over now.
No way just gained so many approval points with me.
As she's running away, Julianne will yell, "Make sure you pay your dues!"
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's some behind us, ain't there?
I don't want the same treatments, please.
I don't think that's customary slapping.
No, it's generally earned around here. And who might you be?
Hail and well met. You can call me QE. I seek alms at the Lonesome Tankard. Have you heard of it?
I think it's empty right now, dude.
Empty? I am but a traveler on the road. Is it not custom in this ancient and storied country to give alms to a traveler? If not there, then where?
If you haven't noticed, we are kind of dealing with the situation, so alms are a bit in short supply at the moment. You seem like a nice sort. The tavern's just south. Just keep following this road, and you'll see it. It'll be on your left.
And your name is? It would give me great peace to be able to mention who brought me there.
Julian, I'm the town's apothecary.
Julian, the town's apothecary. I am QE, Bard Extraordinaire. Thank you so much for your blessing and your good word. I will make sure to use your name when I'm at the tavern.
My lip kind of curls up in disgust a little bit as soon as he says Bard.
Kaysen, as this person walks past you, you quickly clock them. That's a half-elf. And you realize something about him. He's wearing a high hood, and he looks dressed as if he's anticipating poor weather.
Interesting. My expression changes a little bit when I notice that he's a half-elf. There's just amount of elves around here lately.
Rain
Noe
included.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is it Rain included? He is a high elf. Big pointy ears.
Noe looks as if she's going to call after the traveler to ask about the conditions up north, but he has already moved past and she's still processing the fight that she was just in. So she turns back to the group, looks up at Ran, says, "We need to inform those who are working overnight at the dock of the dangers."
Hi, Noe. Rand looks starry-eyed. He looks distracted. Your
Good
your
evening.
hand is stinging.
Good evening, Ren. Do you think we should sound
Hi.
the alarm here?
No, I don't think we should sound the alarm here because there's nothing here other than bards and Fletchers and traveling alchemists. No elves. A griffin in the sky.
Have you heard the drums?
Drums.
The drums? She turns to Case and
Just gonna give him this silent look, like, bro, you were there.
Tilda.
Yep.
Rand turns to you with a look suggesting weariness, as if he's heard all of this before and clearly nothing ever happens here. Hey, Tilde.
Hey, Randy.
Remember the hatch here?
Of
You know,
course.
That's where Mikhail keeps all the ale. There's lots of other stuff down there too.
Like what?
Check it out. Come here.
Okay.
Is she gonna be up there all day?
There's a hatch in the floor here. You know this well. This was at one point by whoever built this. One moment. This was once a secret, Tilda, but no longer. Someone has used this recently. When Rand opens it, there's a flush of cool air from down below. A ladder leads downward.
I will take out my magically enchanted booklight. And I will flick it to on. And I will look at my brother for permission of what I'm obviously about to do. And I'll descend.
He gives you a little nod. You've been down here before, although it's been many years. If you're a local, this is a fairly common thing to raid. One moment, Tilda. Tilda, for a moment here it's dark, and then as you light up your book lights, you can see better.
I will quickly glance around for something out of the ordinary.
There's nothing too out of the ordinary. Let's walk through what's here. Some old purple banners, a symbol of the old monarchy. There's 3 chairs around the table, and on the table is a map of ancient Cormyr. This looks like more of something that a tourist would buy than anything serious as a method of as a study of cartography. There is a shelf containing a number of books. There are kegs lined on the south and the north wall. You recognize, these are easily recognizable as what's been served at the tankard all summer. And you notice a strange statue directly north of you.
Why don't I take a look at that statue?
It's a dragon knight. But it's just a statue. There's nothing magical here about this statue, Tilda. This is solid slate hewn by an amateur. But there is a certain charm to it, isn't there? Someone made this with their own two hands just for you to gaze at. And perhaps looking at something like this will reveal something within you. Two people may not see the same thing reflected through the prism of art. You gaze at the statue, Tilda, and you can picture it. A warbling war trumpet. Clay roof tiles shattering on the boulevard. A white dragon. A purple grave. Dad. It's musty and cozy down here. Back on the surface, if you're down on the road, it's quiet up now from the bunker. You can't see anything happening up there. You hear the stream gurgling and warbling down below you.
Oh, she really is going to be up there all night, isn't she?
More than likely. She was very worried for her brother, and, well, you've met them.
Yes. She is my pupil. Know of her brother.
Yes, so she will be a moment.
My big gifts. Rain seems both impatient and slightly upset with this waiting game.
Bring gifts, you say?
It's her birthday, is it not? I always come around her birthday.
In a few days, yes.
Well, I haven't been keeping exact track.
From over the railing, Ran leans over. Do you guys want some ale? That would make this go a lot faster, wouldn't it? Every good soldier drinks ale.
Not a soldier, but I will drink.
Rand, there's a situation at the other gate. This is no time to be drinking.
There's always a situation.
Yes. So there's no time for drinking.
Well,
If that bard was still here, surely he would tell you that when things are happening is the perfect time to drink.
That's
Still
what the
don't know.
goblin was doing.
All bards do is drink and yell.
Rain, in case I didn't hear either of you, one of you go first.
Oh, I just said that's what the goblin was doing. Very good walking.
That is
I
what
mean,
the goblin is doing. He's been getting drunk essentially the entire time, peeing in bushes. He's quite the menace here on the prime material plane. Sporgle, go.
Speaking of which, Sporgle tugs on Kaysen's pant leg and hands up the bottle of mead.
I'm assuming it's empty.
It's empty.
What do you want me to do with this? Cason's just gonna shove it in his bag, like, well, okay, improvised weapon if I lose my sword. Well, whatever the fuck I have.
You do so, choosing not to litter.
so far as no one's stopping me, Case and Julian, Miss Saint Cyr, yes. Does this one have a name? It's not
Sporgle.
biting my... Say again?
Sporgle.
Sporgle. Alright then.
I do not know where this one came from. Kaysen showed up. He was attached to their hip.
He's not biting any ankles, so it seems cogent.
For now.
It's about that ale.
Are you here for some grand purpose as well? Noe asks Sporgle, out of pure curiosity.
She asked what exactly?
Are you here for some grand purpose as well? Kaysen came in talking about Lathander and...
Sporgle thinks for a moment. Burger that. Oh. Loot.
Loot. Music? All right, so it's not for the love of song. She sort of looks at the others, lost.
I guess as good as mine. Rain is making his direct path towards the bunk.
As she touches his sleeve as he passes her, not to stop him, but just hi. Sorry, I overheard earlier. Is there some business between you and Des?
Not that I'm aware of. You said that someone was looking for me. I mean, many people look for those so acclaimed as the House Denevere, but what? Who?
She looks equally confused. I thought Kaysen was saying that he was asking for you by name.
Something about time being short. And...
Can she roll an insight to make sure you're not bullshitting her? No? Alright. She will accept that at surface level.
As a bit of guidance, I think that you are free to the lack of an insight check does not mean you have to take it at face value. Choose to. This is a purely out of character skill check.
Truly, though, I do appreciate you not making mention of it. I'm a regular at the very least. I look haggard and my eyes missing. I know. I'm sorry. But I have ale to drink and gifts to give, so we're done with the accosting everyone that walks down this road.
Very well, my apologies.
Take this with us. Beautiful, beautiful. Rain's turning away and his voice is lowering as he's speaking. He seems almost dismissive of your house.
I'm gonna start walking vaguely south out of just pure FOMO at this point.
You realize that a number of people have gone south. You wonder where they might be going.
We can't see or hear anything down there, can we? Or can I with my big elf ears?
Your big elf ears allow you a measure of distance hearing that other people may lack. You think you hear something resembling a conversation coming from within the Lonesome Tankard. Far beyond that, perhaps the sound of hoofbeats. It's hard to tell. Something very distant and far away, at least hundreds of feet.
Julian will sigh deeply and just raise her voice towards Rand. Rand, tell everybody getting ale that we're heading to the south gate. Or at least I am.
Do you think she can't hear us? Or rather, we can't hear her.
What's she doing down there?
I'm sorry, is your little sister now a magician as well? She's a stage act. Where has she gone?
I am downstairs, but I'm not going to answer.
She's just vibing.
Oh, you were...
I
Go ahead, sorry.
am looking at the statue.
You are gazing deeply into the statue. Rain, were you speaking to Rand Waklarn?
Correct, and that will never get confusing.
Of course. He, when you ask him about his sister, he goes, hoo-hoo, and points downward.
Oh, yeah.
You can see a light casting up from within, and the light illuminates a thin ladder. Each of the supports is barely thicker than your thumb, and you can see thin tin slats on the way down. It smells musty down there.
Ale? Rain will point towards this hat.
Rand looks like he's taking the measure of you. I don't know about you, but I would love to drink to make this go a bit faster.
Always drinking on the job. All right, then. He'll turn on heel and make his way towards the hat. Little Tilda. Knock, knock.
There's nothing to knock on. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's open.
Not so much knock, knock. He's saying knock, knock.
Oh, I understand. A metaphorical knock knock.
Yes.
I'll look up. Do I recognize Rain?
Tudor, do you...
Yes,
his hair's
right.
probably a little shorter,
Yes.
and
Thank you. That was Rain. Sir.
Mhm.
Sorry, Professor.
yeah, well, it's neither here nor
What?
there.
Are you doing here?
I come every year, and I always bring gifts, don't I, little Pew?
My birthday. You remembered my birthday.
Indeed, I did. You've grown. You've grown.
I've grown. You've shrunk. Look at you. You're positively on the floor.
Well, you sure you don't want this gift, then? I could just leave.
No. What are you bringing? What are you bringing?
As Rain lifts open his very tattered, it looks as though these were not made for the road and that he's been walking it for far too long. Open. You see a form that is fleshy, almost cat-like, tucked into the side of his coat. It wriggles a bit, and at that one, he flips to the other one and produces a single vial filled with a black liquid.
Ooh, I'll reach out for it.
He'll gingerly place it in your hand.
I'll cradle it in my hands, both my hands.
Don't drink that one, please don't.
What is it?
You always spilling your ink. I have no quill for you to this year, but ink it is. Pricey. I have a rich friend. I did a amiable patch-up job. So, rich things to friends.
Rain, thank you so much. Is
Hug?
there anything magic? Hug?
Hug! I'll be too gentle. Licorice is finicky.
I will rush Rain.
I'll
Thank you so much.
embrace you and pat you on your back. Happy birthday.
Where did you tell me more about this? Tell me a story.
Oh, about the whole, half my face missing part.
Yes. Tell me about the ink. Tell me about your life. What's
This is-
outside of this place?
I have many, many stories to tell you. He's looking around your shoulders at this point. Your brother is a liar. No ale.
Oh, it's in the barrels, but I just don't have the appetite tonight.
Fine, we'll go to the tavern and I'll tell you stories. Also, alarm bells are fine, right? Everything's fine?
You know, Tilda, that's an excellent question. Because sometimes they do ring the bells for any old thing. You know that something is sort of hanging over the town of Evening Star right now. The marshal is missing, and it is not that strange to you that the bells could be being rung for something serious, something minor. You know that Noe's older sibling is not necessarily the most responsible or level-headed person.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. But looking at the statue, I feel like if we don't take it seriously, everyone who came before us died for nothing.
I'm sorry, this got really heavy very quickly. What are we talking about?
Can you tell me about the Cormyrean War again?
Well, a lot of bloodshed. A lot of old wounds. Can we walk and talk, then? I'm not so much for tapping a barrel.
Okay. Yeah, that'll make me feel better.
How big is this statue? Is it a statuette or a statue?
It is a statuette. It is roughly 1/3 of the size of a person.
A bit too big to carry.
You estimate it would probably weigh a couple 100 pounds. It's pure slate.
Carry along, then. This Lord, Rain will make his way towards the ladder.
Yes. I will go up ahead of you.
One at a time or both at the same time?
Give purchase. Probably about 5-10 seconds
Okay.
advance.
Noted. One moment. You clamber out back into the moonlight. The familiar sounds of crickets and cicadas. It is currently 7 p.m. Would we like to take a fiver?
Sounds good.
Please.
Okay. Be back momentarily.
I'm back. I'm just eating rice cakes.
Aiken.
Hello, David.
Hello.
You look parched. Oh, did you change out of your...
I
your
took a
stuff?
shower. I got.
You took a shower?
Yeah.
You're the...
Yeah.
And you're like the first person back. That's insane. You're such an efficient showerer.
This was like literally me during my health and safety class last semester.
Oh, is that a Sammy?
This is Sammy. He hasn't come out of the
Oh.
cage today, so he's being needy.
Oh,
So he was screaming, and that's why I had bird aggro. So he got fresh food, water, snackies, but he needs to come out for a little bit and get some attention.
Despite all my rage.
Yeah, despite all his rage, he's still an idiot.
Sam.
I
David.
was saying that was like a boot camp shower.
David really wants to stay on the parapet with Tilda's brother, but Tilda is a 17-year-old. And we'll definitely go back to the tavern and screw something up. Sammy, please.
POV, you're corn.
He doesn't like corn, actually.
Oh, we got a real corn hater in the chat.
No, I mean he doesn't get it that often. He just doesn't eat it. He really likes pepper seeds. He loves peppers. So that'd be POV pepper.
I want to show off a random thing in my house. I just wanted to show off this random thing that I got from Marshall's weeks ago. They're literally measuring cups. But they look like little poison apples for Halloween.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, that's
Like-
so cute.
It's literally just from Disney villains, but I thought they were really cute and they're hand painted too. And they work as measuring cups for serving dishes. Anyways, I love these.
That's cute.
And they're usually across the room, so keep staring at them.
Adorbs.
That sort of reminds me of like a while ago, Jewel got me measuring cups that are like that. They're sort of nested. And then I broke one, and then I broke another one.
Did you break the other one because you broke the first one? Didn't want an incomplete set?
Maybe, like maybe subconsciously. did you guys like my sad story? It was a sad one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The
It's always
saddest.
sad, but you could just put them back together like kintsugi.
Well, if you want to come to my house with some gold leaf, knock yourself out.
It was hop on an 8-hour flight or 12. Insofar as I can't hear myself, and there's clearly an audio issue, what parts are specifically getting cut off? Is it just like
Beginning.
right at the beginning and right at the end?
Beginning and end. This is a classic
Alright.
classic Frample problem where we can hear the meat in the middle, but we can't hear the beginning and the end. It's yes, and of course everyone wants to hear what you have to say. So I think you can feel free to even here's something I was thinking. If I were you, this is what I would do. Sometimes you'll hear me do this. I would use a little bit of like a character voice kind of thing just to like sort of ramp up into it, and then you say something. Like especially Rain's like little murmur. I don't know. You could use that to kind of activate your voice act. I don't know. Just a
Yeah.
thought.
Does this sound better?
It sounds perfect right now. Yes.
Okay. It turns out Discord's had a 20 millisecond push to talk delay. I didn't know. You can turn it off.
Jewel, you have the witchiest office. It's absurd.
It's so sick.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it.
You did.
I like your swag, Jewel.
I still have to install molding, but I'll do that later.
I think you and Ari are the only ones without swag, David.
I have swag, it just hasn't come up yet. Swagless.
Welcome back, humans. Ready to resume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You find yourself at the northern bunker, the battlements, here in Evening Star. The night is getting later. It's almost entirely blackout, except for here where the torches light up the area surrounding the bridge, the actions with the party.
Rain,
Hmm.
why is there a griffin overhead?
I'm sorry, what now? So,
Yeah.
Rain will just look directly up.
You look directly up. There's something up there, hard to see. It's even with your low light vision, it's difficult to see what's up there. But there is some type of movement up in the sky.
There's 2 rains. Tokens.
We use the Dave doubler.
We'll fix. Thank you, Ari.
That is beyond me. Perhaps we should be inside then. Let's not be eaten by griffins. Come on. We'll hurry you along towards the entrance to the book.
But Rand has to stay here.
Yes, and he always had a drinking problem.
Rand's watching the northern bridge. He looks over behind you. He looks very defensive. Did you just say I have a drinking problem?
You can hear that. God, you are a good sentry. You'll be fine.
I will laugh.
You laugh, but it is perhaps a ha-ha only serious type of moment for you.
Mm-hmm.
No, seriously, though, I can get him a tincture or 12 for that.
Rain, if we're gonna do something mischievous, make sure everybody doesn't know about it.
I'm being a bit too loud, aren't I? But yes, stories and ale, and she still makes the soup here, right? Or was that... Oh, it's been too long. Come now.
Mikhail.
Yes.
Julianne and I are way ahead of y'all.
Rand.
One second.
If
please.
you...
One second. Resolving things down here. Okay, first resolving down by the entrance to the Lonesome Tankard. Kaysen and Julianne, I think both of you had something. Go ahead. In any order.
Curious about what was going on more to the south. I don't know if you were running towards the tavern or following the others.
I think potentially Sarah had to step away for a second, perhaps for bird operations.
Ah, okay. I don't want to split the party too much. I was more interested in what's going on to the south.
Looking far to the south, you can see that there is little activity other than the people you've already seen heading southward on the road on these roads here inside the town. That is to say, there's not a lot of back and forth. I don't know exactly what you're looking for, but there's not a lot of activity, not a lot of bustle, not much to see other than gently swaying trees that remind you a bit of home. Your ears are able to pick up the sounds of conversation here in the Lonesome Tankard beside you, and you think perhaps if you listen very hard to the south, you hear something. Hooves, drums, something, a deep percussive element somewhere to the south, you think. Other than that, it's oddly quiet. The wind is nearly still tonight. It's about 50 degrees.
I'm not sure what to do just from a player mechanical standpoint of I don't know if we're avoiding splitting people up or
You have as much freedom as you'd like. I will create boundaries for you. Do not worry. And I believe you had a question for Julianne, who had stepped away for a second.
Oh, I was just curious if you were heading towards the tavern or further south. Oh, we can't hear you.
Julianne? Sarah? Oh, you are muted.
Under voice settings, is that on the right microphone?
Let's circle back in 1 second. Back at the bunker, Tilda, you had words for Rand that I did not catch. I'm sorry. Please, once again, your brother looks down at you. He brushes a bit of silver hair behind one of his ears. He looks gracious to be sharing this night with you.
Ran, I'm gonna show Ren to the tavern. I'll pull up close to him. Ran, if this is real and you die, I'll never forgive you.
I'm not gonna. There's nothing to die about. Like, let's please keep everything in perspective. Tilda, you're adorable. Your concern has always been so funny. You're the greatest little sister anyone could ask for. But
I'll give him a shove,
you
like a playful shove.
you give him a playful shove. The aspirant paladin allows you to shove him.
I will step off the bivouac and make my way down.
You do so.
How tall is this building?
It is.
So I was about to ask.
These are all wonderful questions. It is 8 feet from where Sporgle currently is. If you want to crawl up the side, it's 8 feet, but it has a 10-degree tilt to it, and there are defensive spikes and caltrops here, and you could find things to climb up fairly easily with no check required.
Yeah, Sporgle climbs up on top of this tower, and he's like balancing on the ramparts as he's bored out of his mind.
You do so. Nothing seems to be happening. Is this what passes for entertainment here on the Prime? People talking to each other, talking about how much they would hypothetically miss each other? You're missing something. Loot.
Just
Don't loot him a second time.
Back to Sarah, who can now respond to Julianne.
Julianne is heading to the south gate. She's already been at the tavern for quite a bit tonight, and, well, there are alarms sounding, and she's heading to investigate that, knowing that the siblings are perfectly content up north.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about anything going on in the tavern because it's basically cleared out except for the barkeep and the one new guy who elf, but also bard. Could care less. Bard.
So did Kaysen decide to follow Julianne?
Yes.
Okay.
A bit awkwardly, as if he's looking like he struggles with making independent decisions, and is kind of just looking for some momentum to latch onto.
Kaysen wasn't?
Yeah. Julian?
It is. So, why are you so invested in what's going on? You're not even from here, let alone just following me instead of babysitting your pet familiar.
Oh no, that's no, it's not mine.
Anything
Yeah, no, we
attached-
just
with how much that thing is attached to your leg, it is yours.
yeah, fix that. Um,
I don't know much about goblin physiology or anything like that. But I do know when an animal is attached to a leg like that, they are imprinted. So
oh god.
he is your responsibility. I am just concerned to. Well, I kind of left him up there with the siblings.
There's plenty of eyes on him. He'll be fine. As for what I'm doing here, that is a great question that I don't necessarily have the answer to.
And that's
Sort of
okay.
looking for something in
Everybody-
the greater sense, but just kind of walking in the direction where the most stuff is happening, hoping I'll eventually find answers.
Everybody finds their own way in one manner or another. It's okay. Just because you finished one thing doesn't mean you immediately need another. I do appreciate the help with whatever's going on. I am just merely concerned. So,
I feel like it's
for
worth
motivations, I suppose.
yeah, I feel like it's worth confirming. Well, number one, I know everyone thinks I'm imagining things because I'm the only one that can hear them. Big elf ears. But worth just confirming, clearing the air if there are, elves marching on the town. I don't have any allegiance to them. I
Nor do
left my
I.
home when I was younger, so
No, the elves
no stake in this.
perfectly fine in my book. I'm more concerned of any warband, regardless. If that's even what is deemed true. But I would like to find out first.
Agreed.
And if it is a serious endeavor, well, we are missing our fist leader of this town, and, well,
Another thing going on? How long's it been
well,
missing?
for a small town, there seems to be a lot of going-ons, so. But I need to find out, because if I need to send out for aid or anything else, better settle it now rather than later. Because I will be damned if anything happens to my work I've done here.
I understand that. It must be nice to have a permanent, stable job. The town alchemist?
Indeed. Among other things. But yes.
Very respectable.
Thank you. Finally, somebody understands.
Can't say I can relate, but I can admire it.
Right.
You prepare to head south on the road. Back at the bunker, the action is with the party.
Tilda, are you on good terms with the St. Cyr girl again? Now at all?
No way. Yeah, she's my best friend. Don't let her hear that.
Yes. I've seen you have a few tussles. Fairblade Club.
We fight. I mean, that's just what we do. She's the best.
She did lay that lady out flat. I don't know if you saw it from up there, but damn.
I know. I didn't
As
know
we-
the St. Cyrs had it in them, to be honest.
Well, that girl always did. You can see that much from afar. As we were walking back to this crossroads, has Arsenaway just been standing there with the bag of horns the whole time?
Yeah, so she's actually waiting for Tilda, and I think as soon as she sees her cut into the road, she smiles, and then turns back towards where she thought she last saw Sporgle. Sort of not immediately able to see him, she sort of tentatively calls out, Master Sporgle, I believe we're leaving if you wish to accompany us. Of course, that is your choice. I hope you are safe.
Sporgle notices suddenly, like he hadn't been paying attention, he notices that everyone's leaving. He goes, oh. And he starts clambering down.
Do you need a hand?
No.
Okay, alright.
I'll be waving. No, wait, come on. There's nothing happening here.
What took you so long?
Oh, Rand just wanted to show me something. It's stupid.
Oh, what was it?
He just wanted me to drink the ale with him. I don't know. I'm not really feeling that way tonight.
My father says the ale's not the greatest when it's been buried there, but I don't know.
To be honest, none of it tastes good.
Truthfully, it doesn't, but you've only had this nice swill.
Adults
It's a
always
much finer
tell us.
thing.
Adults always say that it's an acquired taste. I usually think that just means it's bad.
Oh no, mostly it is bad.
Do you like coffee?
Oh, God.
Isn't it strange? My father can't even get up in the morning without 3 cups, it feels like.
It's repugnant.
He doesn't even add sugar to it.
I'll cut it with milk. Is your
Well-
father insane? No offense, I don't wish to be slapped this time. It's more of a
I can answer
rhetorical
that
question.
for her.
She shoots Rain a look and then gestures for Tilda to fill in for her.
Only before he's had his coffee.
We'll see
Hmm.
what Josa is up to this time. Hopefully it's not another one of their pranks.
What's Sporgle eyeing this time? See him off to the side.
He is jumping from fence post to fence post is what he's doing.
Sporgle, you see an odd bounty in this field. Melons, huge ones. Some of them are ripe, some of them not quite so. They're growing fat here in the field.
I will whisper to Noe. What's the deal?
With what? I don't know.
Oh, good, we're all above board.
Wouldn't your mother have seen him coming?
No way, she's not an oracle.
What's the difference between what an oracle does and what she does?
An oracle knows facts.
Your mother wrote textbooks on.
Something
Yes.
predictive models of clouds, yes? We've been over.
It's a little different. You see, a oracle sees things, in their mind. The magic of divination brings it into their mind. My mother, well, she expresses what's likely to be, which is different from a fact.
Well, then what are you imagining in your mind's eye when you tell me about drow or griffin feather patterns?
These are facts. The historian Volo wrote them all down, and I read his entire book.
Oh, Volo.
You should read it sometime. Oh, we would have so much to talk about.
I'm sure, but I do admit I prefer hearing it from you.
Oh, don't get me started. You know how I can be.
And she sort of looks between Rin and Tilda for a moment, almost feeling a little like a third wheel.
You notice as you look between them, as you said you prefer to hear it from Tilda, you can see this sort of dry smugness, almost a pride about that comment.
Rain,
Hmm.
have you ever cast a divination spell? Seen something beyond yourself?
No. I've never divined. But I've met those that can... How do I put this? So if your mother can make predictions, and an oracle knows facts, I think there's a third outlook on the future. It's someone that believes in something so strongly, so fervently, that they make that the truth, or the prediction, or the fact. grasp their hand so tightly on this world that tomorrow is there. That I've seen. Wow.
That's a lovely way of putting it. I think that's what my father does.
Yeah, we would maybe see a little eye to eye, but, well,
I think she gives him a little bit of a strange look at that.
it is a. I'll get over it. It's recent. I'm sorry. I can tell you the story, but it's really not that complicated.
No, please tell me. My parents never tell me anything.
Do you want it with the flourishes, or do you want the facts?
Well, I see Julianne up ahead, so maybe we should make it quick.
A rain-slick road and a horse with undercut hooves. A carriage finds itself ass over tits, and, well, my face planted firmly in the ground. Ta-da! Well,
Could
it
it
does turn out.
Could a healer not help you?
Well, I mean, there's this now, as he traces the pained marble prosthetic part where his orbital bone is missing. I was the healer. This is more of a gift than anything. Is this rich friend that gave you that ink, or more so I took from them, gave me this as well. I
I
saved their
think it
life in
looks
that.
amazing.
It is very pretty, but oh, the depth perception. Months! I tell you, months before you figure out how to walk again. Just bump into every door.
Well, is it better now that people look at you with the sense of being struck rather than pity?
No one pitied me beforehand, but yes. It
I
does.
will shoot Noe a hard glance.
She looks a little self-pitying in that moment, but she catches the look and her expression softens. Sorry.
It's so cool. You could say anything and people would believe you.
I know, I've said a lot of things to a lot of people. A lot of them lie. Shark attack. Ooh, I fought a dragon.
A purple
Yes, well,
worm
of course.
in the spine of the world.
But now,
The
truly,
frostbite took it.
the greatest enemy of all. Gravity. Physics.
Ugh, you sound like my mother.
I'd rather not.
Alright,
Speaking
we're-
of your new friends, as we're trailing them, I assume, at this point, or at least seeing them further down. I surely hope you haven't been believing all the dark tales of your new compatriots.
I did hear a tale spun about Kaysen.
Jason?
Oh, tell me.
Some deaths in a cave. Supposedly she was the only survivor. He was the only survivor. I heard that he turned to the Order so that he could say under oath that he didn't do it, and they would believe him.
I wouldn't believe all the stories you hear. I know many come through this town, and many of them are lavish, so gilded with mistruths. Sometimes people just make mistakes.
True. What's Sporgle doing?
Sporgle has just been kind of walking, and he has this kind of like serpentine gait to him.
Is it drunken?
It is. It's hard to tell, honestly. You might interpret it that way, but it's hard to tell.
I feel like he's reached like ascendant levels of drunk.
Can I reel up to Sporgle and get in Sporgle's face?
I imagine that would not be difficult, unless you might have to crouch. But
I'm going to crouch as if I am talking to an 8-year-old. So, little goblin, I heard your name's Sporgle.
well,
What are you doing here? Where are you from?
Far, far, far away.
Why did you travel here?
Oh, the accident.
Oh, where were you trying to travel?
Sportle not try to travel. Sportle have to escape.
You're on the lam.
Oh, no. Sportle has no lambs.
Ah, I'm sorry. I meant that you are running from the law.
No. No.
What happened?
Portal. Big portal.
You've seen portal magic? I heard that this country was covered in a portal network. Ah, amazing. Did you come through one of those? Ancient Cormyr's lost portals?
Sportle thinks so.
Wow. Wow. Where did you come from?
Tribe village? Far, far.
Well, if you remember where it was, I would be interested. I'm Tilda. I'll put out my hand.
So Sporgle saw them shake earlier, I'm pretty sure. So Sporgle, like, it's like super stiff and rigid.
Quite a strong grip there, little fella.
Blah.
Alright, I'll get up. I'll shrug at Rain and No Way.
Even
What could
greater
go wrong?
kindness than I would. My name is Rain Sporgle.
Hello.
I'm Noe. I'm sorry I did not introduce myself before.
Okay.
As a refresher for those that were not involved in the first session, what exactly is Sporgle wearing?
Sporgle is wearing, he's got like a hood on and just like a jacket, like a leather tattered ass jacket that goes all the way down to his calves.
Does it look like it was made for him?
That is a hard question to answer. Whether a tailor had anything to do with this ensemble is almost impossible to discern, I imagine.
The construction looks exotic, extraplanar, different. It's nothing like you'd expect, Rain, even with your broad expectations for the world.
Well, at the very least, Tilda, I think that his story of falling through a portal is probably true.
Incredible. I wish I could fall through a portal sometimes.
If anyone one was, I take it.
You wanted to go to the tavern? We can go in.
Yes. It seems like in this conversation he was so absent-minded to even misjudge how far they had traveled. I am quite hungry.
You found yourselves easily walking together, right? You were sort of walking and talking, and despite yourselves, you ended up right at your destination. Julienne and Kaysen. There's something approaching the two of you. A presence. You can, as an optional reaction, assume whether this is friend or foe. This may give you an advantage in future similar interactions. Someone is approaching you. Do you take the optional reaction? Each of you independently can answer this question.
Julian, you first.
Yes, I will.
Friend or foe?
Foe.
Noted. Kaysen, Paladin of Light.
Jason feels a strong, bold presence coming. He's gonna clock that presence as a foe, but not take the reaction.
Okay. You do not take the optional reaction. Both of you can choose to make one of the following 2 checks: Perception or Arcana. You pick. No context will be provided.
Arcana.
Roll-
Perception.
Okay, each of you roll that.
Was perception.
Wisdom.
16.
16. Noted. Did you say 2? 2. Noted for both of you. Someone or something suddenly appears in front of you. Familiar. It's Ed Severino.
I fucking knew it.
Bo was correct.
I fucking knew it.
Kaysen. He looks you up and down. His eyes are bloodshot. He says, "It's Sylvans. Light cavalry. We repulse them, but there's more out there. Come on." And we cut the session.
God damn it.
Ooh. I fucking knew it. As soon as you were like a bold, menacing presence, I remembered because I was transcribing that description about him. I was like,
That's fairly next level, actually, because yes, I deliberately reuse some of the same words. Wow, how in depth. I guess that's what happens when you spend hours writing the session down. Very
Yes.
impressive. So
what is the
See,
word?
that's funny to me because Mike must have so much of this already transcribed for his purposes and reading out that we are now retranscribing.
it's true. Yes, of course. Yes, like of course, there's hard copies of all of this, but that's sort of the joy of transcribing radio transmissions from some strange place, isn't it? We're playing 1 hour late next week, maybe even a little bit later, but we should play around 6 next week, maybe 7.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
You're all the absolute best. Thank you so much for playing in this game. If you didn't already get a package, it should be there tomorrow.
Yeah, they
You
must
have
have turned
tracking
into a
info
rocket.
for it?
Both of you, Fulmari, what'd you say?
Oh, I said they must have attached mine to a rocket.
That's what it seems like. Ari, what'd you say?
Do you have any tracking reference number for it?
I could try to find it. I think they emailed it to me. But that's it. That's all I got, unless anyone's got any commentary. Any commenters out there?
I love everyone's characters.
Same.
I love the voices.
I think staying in character as Sporgle is very tough, and I think you're doing an extremely good job with it, and I appreciate your character acting. Yes, I like everybody's characters.
The fucking Luke Goblin.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I will see everybody 1 week from today. Good night.
Bye, everybody. Have a great time.
Night.
Good night.